These two candles can literally change your life, and it's all to do with the daily bias. See, many people execute their trades on the lower time frame charts, but they refer to the daily time frame with the same type of analysis. This is a completely wrong approach to take. Why? Because every time you get into the trade and exit, the daily chart has barely moved. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through my exact daily bias strategy so you can define the directional bias for the day using just the two previous daily candles. It's simple, it's systematic, and I personally have used this every time for the last 3 years and still continue to use it on a daily basis. So let's get straight into it. Now, to fully understand the strategy, there are three main components that we need to consider. First, we need to go through the candlestick anatomy and how this impacts movement. Next, we will explore the previous two daily candles and link that to the lower time frame to see how we can enter. And then I will finally get into some live examples to show you how this actually works. And as an added bonus, I will even give you my hidden entry model that I've been using for the past 3 years on how to enter these trades. So the first thing we've got to consider is candlestick anatomy, and it always really comes down to these two main candlesticks. Now, typically in an uptrend, we expect a strong bullish movement toward the upside, and in a downtrend, we expect a strong bearish movement towards the downside. Now, if we do have this as the case where an engulfing candle actually closes above, typically the open is going to be somewhere along the bottom, the low is going to be the wick, the high of a wick is going to be created, and then eventually it closes around this range. So if we've really looked at the internals of this structure, it would look a little something like this. Price opens, creates this low, eventually continues all the way upwards to this high, and then closes. Now, naturally, we are going to get different variations as well. As an example, we may get something like this, where price continues all the way to the high, drops down to the low, and then closes around this range. The main important point is once the candlestick closes, whatever time frame you're on, it has to close here and it has to open here. The same as in this example as well. It has to open at this range and it has to close around this range. Now, more often than not, we get the formation of something like this as opposed to something like this. Now, you may be asking why. Because typically in one daily candle or one 1 hour candle or a 4 hour candle, we do not get explosive movement like this. Unless there's some sort of news, typically we're going to see something like this, where price actually sweeps the low, continues all the way up to the top, price gets exhausted, and then eventually it pulls back. And the same thing can be said for the anatomy of a downtrending candle as well. It opens up at this range, creates a high, so it creates that sweep, drops all the way down to the bottom, and then eventually gives you that pullback to the close. Now, every single candlestick ideally would close something like this. But naturally, we know that we get certain wicks as well, where price may just have a small body, something that looks like this, where instead of keeping the open all the way up at the top, it may just do something like this. Now, this is our third type of candlestick. And to be honest, this is one of the most confusing ones. It's what we call an indecision candle. If you do have this indecision candle, it shows you that price obviously is indecisive. It doesn't know where it's moving. So if we have this on the previous daily candle, we need to wait for more confirmation. So if we stick to these two main engulfing candles as higher confirmation, and then we have this indecisive candle as a lower confirmation, we have to keep that in mind. And so to really clear that up, there are only three types of candles we look for in any type of trending environment. Number one is going to be the engulfing candle that we just spoke about. Number two is going to be the indecision candle. And number three is the rejection candle. Now, the difference, because many people actually get this confused, the difference between an indecision candle and a rejection candle is all to do with how price actually wicks on the bottom. Now, if we assume that this is in an uptrend, we can obviously understand that price is going to have this bullish movement up to the upside, even with this one as well. But the difference is essentially what this one did is price tried to go lower, it rejected this level, some sort of liquidity, potentially tapped into a point of interest, and then continue to move towards the upside. This, if anything, is even stronger of an indication that it's going to move up as opposed to something like an engulfing candle. But again, the engulfing candles are simple, indecision candles don't give you much, rejection candles are very strong as well. Now, if we look at something towards the downside, it's essentially the same type of idea. We look for price to open up at this range, close over here, give you this wick action above and below. Again, an indecision candle doesn't give you much. A rejection candle is going to give you a lot of information. Now, in terms of candlesticks, we can actually apply this concept to any time frame. But the ones that are the most prominent in the market is going to be the weekly time frame and the daily time frame. If we are looking at the weekly time frame, it looks a little something like this, where our Monday open is going to be something where it's slow, it's manipulating. Tuesday is typically going to be the high or the low of the week. So in this example, we are in an uptrend. price we expect to sweep below and then start to continue upwards. Wednesday and Thursday are usually the expansion days, and then Friday and the end of Thursday is going to be the typical pullback phase. Now, Friday sometimes has its move of its own. If it's NFP, if there's any other major news event on that Friday, we will either get an expansion or a pullback. But usually speaking, in a general week, we are going to see something like this. Now, how does this compare to the daily time frame? Well, the daily time frame also has its liquidity theory as well. Price eventually opens up at the start of the day. It has that Asia range, which is obviously the consolidation period. We then have London session open up as the manipulation. So price actually sweeps the low again. Remember, in a bullish movement candle, we expect price to sweep below, then continue upwards. Once we get that sweep, we start looking for confirmations. Price during New York starts to expand upwards. And then typically after London close, after around that 4 p.m. timing, price will actually start to slow down. So whichever time frame you're looking at, these are the core movements that we can actually see. So just a quick little break. If you are looking to get funded with one of the most reliable prop firms in the industry, then look no further than Blueberry Funded. So they've been ranked as the most trusted broker-backed prop firm, offering some of the best trading conditions and challenges to suit all of your needs, with the opportunity to even get instant funding as well. Now, their scaling plan is one of the most progressive in the industry, with 25% increases on your account every 3 months for completely free. Now, they bring in over 20 years of combined brokerage and prop firm experience, so you know you're in good hands, where they actually guarantee you zero payout denials as long as you can stick to all the rules. And exclusively just for you guys watching, Blueberry Funded has given you the best possible deal at checkout. If you use the link in the description and use Diamant as a code, you will actually sometimes even get double the discount that they offer on their website publicly. Now, let's get straight back into the video. So now moving on to point number 2, the 2 previous daily candles and how this actually impacts current movement. Now, there's 3 things that we actually have to consider every single time we look at candle projection. Number 1, what type of market condition are we actually in? Is it expanding? Is it consolidating? Number 2, reacting at any point of interest if we're at a certain supply or demand, or are we at a level where liquidity is being swept? This is also going to give you a possible reaction to the other side. And number 3, what was the previous daily candle? Was it engulfing? Was it indecisive? Or was it a potentially rejection candle? Now, here are a few scenarios of what actually works. So let's zoom in. This particular example over here is the simple 2 candle structure we typically look for. Essentially, what you're trying to look for is the second candle previous to the one you're on right now was bullish. The one yesterday was bullish as well. And in fact, it even engulfed above this previous high over here. What we then expect is for price to pull back at the start of the day and then to continue for the rest of the day. The second example is going to be this one over here, which is a mini reversal that becomes irrelevant. What we can see is price had a very, very strong engulfing candle towards the upside over here. Price then started to slow down. Does this slowdown necessarily mean we are changing the trend? Absolutely not. We haven't broken any sort of change of character or any sort of structure. There's no change of character. There's absolutely no indication that price is very aggressive towards the downside. Therefore, we can still anticipate that eventually we're going to be continuing upwards after this consolidation period. So price slows down a little bit, but in fact, it actually gives you a rejection candle. Now, how do we know that this is going to be a rejection candle? Well, we can see that price eventually opened up around this range, gave us a bearish movement. However, the wick towards the downside was an indication that we rejected that. In a way, it's kind of like price saying, okay, cool, we tapped into it. We took the liquidity, now we're trying to reverse the other direction. From that point onwards, the next engulfing candle was bullish. In fact, it engulfed past all the previous structure. This is a very good indication. So here, in the first one, we've got 2 engulfing candles. In this one, in the second example, we've got a rejection candle plus an engulfing candle. And then on the third example, we've got an indecisive candle plus an engulfing candle. If you can align with all of these 3 examples, you will typically see price give you that little pullback and continue towards the upside. Now, there is a little exception to this rule because you may be thinking, okay, cool. If all the previous days were all engulfing towards the upside, does that mean that we can still expect that for the rest of the days? Well, what I've usually found is, especially if it's midweek, we've got 3 bullish candles. Price is typically going to have a bit of a slowdown period or potentially even a pullback. So something like this, where you've got 3 engulfing days in a row, be very cautious in terms of price. Now let's get into a few examples so you can practically see how it works in the live markets. Now in this market condition, we can actually see that we are very much uptrending. Price has decided to slow down around this little point. However, it has rejected all of these demand zones over here. Then we got a nice little rejection candle. Price failed to fully engulf upwards. Remember, we must look for an engulfing candle above. It can't just be a little wick like this. We actually need to see price close above this area. Once we see price actually close above, which it didn't do here, however, it did do exactly at this zone over here, we then can anticipate that price is going to do what? Eventually, it's going to close downwards, sweep downwards, and close upwards. Now, we can never tell exactly how much is going to close to the upside, but a typical estimation for your take profit point is usually the high of the actual range. Let's see how this actually works out. As you can see, price opens up, gives you the sweep towards the downside as expected, and there we go. Price eventually continues all the way to the upside like this. Now, typically on the lower time frame, if we actually look, this is usually what it's going to look like. As you can see, what price did, Asia range opened up. We got that sweep just before London session. So in Frankfurt session, typically we get something like this. And then eventually London session continued all the way up to our take profit point. Because we are trading on the lower time frame, all we really want to do is look at this exact movement. We look for this Asia range getting swept. We look for the sweep below. And only at that point, that's when we can start to look for our confirmations, which we're going to get into a bit later on in the video. So we've looked at continuation trades. How does it work for reversals? Well, essentially, we look at the three main variables again. What type of market condition is it? Is it reacting to a point of interest? And what were the two previous daily candles? Now, there is a little ranking system that I've created for all my students, but you can have it here for completely free. Typically, what we look at when we look at a low quality type of projection in a way for a reversal, it looks something like this. We've got three engulfing candles. On the last previous candle, we expect a bit of a rejection. What we can look for at this point is essentially for the next day to continue to the downside. Another example of a low quality movement is this, where price simply just sweeps a level of liquidity with a rejection candle. If we see something like that, potentially we may see price actually reverse. Now let's get into the medium quality. This is all about that sweep of liquidity, the rejection, plus an engulfing candle. If we see this three candle formation around liquidity, this is usually where we're going to get a high quality reversal. And the final example is going to be a high quality reversal. This is all about price, tapping into a point of interest, sweeping liquidity, plus engulfing candle away. You can almost bet that price is actually going to move to the downside for the next day. So the difference between the continuations and the difference between the reversals is all about the reactions at certain points of interest. Price may be moving very well in one direction, but these are the reasons why price may actually slow down and start to reverse. So we now know what reversals actually look like. Let's get into a live case study to consolidate this all. As you can see in this particular example, price is clearly moving towards the downside. Eventually, it starts to consolidate and slow down around here. So this is really where we have to keep our eyes on the detailed price action. Eventually, what price does is with this daily candle, it sweeps the previous daily low. This is our first indication. It then decides to close up above. Granted, it doesn't fully engulf above the previous daily wick. However, it's good enough for a first indication. We see this massive rejection candle. The next day then shows us a strong engulfing towards the upside. So what can we expect for the next day? It's going to be something like this. A sweep below the market open. And then eventually we expect at least this high over here to be taken. Once we can actually see something like this, typically this is going to be one of our ranges for our take profits. Now, if we actually break this down, let's see how it moves. As you can see, price opens up, gives us that sweep, starts to move upwards, and there we go. That is our take profit here. If we look at the details of the lower time frames, we see something like this, where the daily open starts off at exactly this point over here. This was the daily open. We then see a sweep below the daily open. Price breaks upwards, gives us a pullback, and this, during London session, is when we are going to be looking for our entries. We're going to be getting into entries in just a second, but I hope these case studies have really shown you exactly what you should be looking for in both continuations and reversals. So let's get into our entry models. So up until now, we've been talking about the daily candles, but let's actually see how we can execute the trade on the lower time frame. Now, this exact strategy is what I like to call my elite strategy. In recent times, it's been tested and optimized even more over years of data, and here are the results. A 72% win rate with an average risk to reward of 3 risk to reward. In a month, it gets crazy returns, but in all honesty, it is really down to the A+ setups. And this is one of them right here. Now, in general, I've got 6 entry models, 3 for London, 3 for New York session. If I don't see anything solid for London, I wait for New York. But this right here is quite possibly my most effective one ever. I've been using this exact one for the last few years, and it's never really done me wrong. As you can see, what we should have is a correct context. We must see at this point that the daily candles indicate we must be moving towards the upside. We then wait for Asia session to actually open up over here. Price then sweeps below straight into a point of interest. We then get a lower time frame change of character upwards. Price gives us that pullback and a strong engulfing candle upwards. Our stop loss is going to be moved straight below over here, the most recent low, and our take profit is going to be at the high of the range. Now, you could have 2 options. You could leave it at 3 risk to reward or potentially leave it at the high, depending on which one actually comes first. From what I've seen over years of data, and by the way, I've gotten exactly all of my bootcamp students to test this. People like Ethan, people like Ashley, Casper, you can see all of their results over here. They've got the exact same type of data set. This right here is one of the most effective A+ setups. So let's get into a few examples. So as you know, the first thing we do is we look at the 2 previous daily candles. As we can see in this example, we have a very clear downtrend towards the downside. Eventually, price gives us this engulfing candle upwards. However, it doesn't exceed the actual wicks of the previous one of that. Eventually, price actually sweeps this previous daily high. It comes all the way down to engulf towards the downside. Therefore, my idea for daily projection is we get a sweep above the daily open, and then we continue towards the downside. So with that in mind, let's get into the lower time frames. So if this is our daily open, we're going to wait for our Asia range to actually close up. So let's wait for that to actually happen. Perfect. So we are now at the 8 o'clock opening of the London session. Right at this point, we're going to be looking for a clear change of character towards the downside, a pullback, and then an entry. Let's see how that goes. So we've got our pullback, we've got our change of character. This was the last low that caused this move towards the upside. So if we just label that over there as our lower time frame change of character, we're then waiting for price to potentially tap into this inverse fair value gap. And let's see how this actually turns out. Price doesn't tap into it. So when this actually happens, we see this as a lower time frame breaker structure. So what are we waiting for next? We're waiting for a tap back into this zone over here. Once we get into this tap, we're then going to wait for a reaction. So all it takes is one strong engulfing candle away from it. Let's see, do we get something starting to? Some sort of consolidation period over here. This is really where we're getting close to an entry now. There we go. That is our exact entry model. We then enter market execution, stop loss above the most recent range, and we obviously aim for a 3 risk to reward at first. We take 75% partials at this zone. So if we actually label that out as 75% partials, and then we see how this actually works out. Candle by candle, price as you can see, there we go. That's where we hit our 3 risk to reward, take profit. From this point onwards, we then trail our stop loss. So we're going to move our stop loss initially to this zone over here. Let's see how far price can actually move. Typically, and this is from all of the data that I've tested, I've seen that usually it goes up to around a 5 risk to reward in total. Beyond that, it's an outlier. Let's see how that turns out. Price is starting to break all the way downwards. We can start to trail our stop loss at this point over here because we're breaking this structure. Let's see, do we get to 5 risk to reward? Just about, almost, not there. But because it's so late on in the day, I'm going to trail my stop loss all the way up until here. We've broken this structure. Therefore, if anything happens, that will be my final take profit. And there we go. We actually hit a 5 risk to reward. So this right here is the exact entry model that I personally use, linking it up to the daily time frame and everything like that. If you have enjoyed this video, guys, please consider liking and subscribing. Remember to get that 48-page PDF guide down below. And remember, whenever you want to enter these trades, always look at the 2 previous daily candles, see how that works relative to the lower time frame, and use this engulfing candle rule to actually enter. If you have enjoyed this video, click on this one over here so you can actually see me test this live right in front of you.